I'll be quick. Look, we're on to the next game. Excited to play this team coming in here. Tough challenge. Aaron Rodgers always is. And with that, I'll just open it up.
Your thought behind Reggie and his role change and how he succeeded?
Yeah, I've been pleased with Reggie. You know, I think we all, I think in here we talked about this way back. It was gonna take a little while to see how we were gonna fit things, you know, for the coaches to learn what the players could and couldn't do, what players learn us, et cetera, et cetera. So maybe we found a little niche, you know, hopefully Reggie can keep producing like he did. He had a lot of production last week.
Has he earned his right to be amongst the starting lineup again?
Well, when you be careful with the starting deal, because we got a couple different, probably 3 or 4 different packages, and so starting means the first play. You know, I don't know what the starters are right now. We're trying to play a bunch of guys. I mean, Rashad Fenton got in there. If that package goes first, is he a starter? Yeah. I mean, we're just trying to play with get the best guys out there we can. I like it when you're playing more than just 11 guys. I think it's good for the unit. It's good to keep guys in tune. So as many guys as we can get doing that, the better.
What about Derek Noddy in his game the other night?
I think he's been really solid. You know, I remember putting one play on, today's Thursday, it was Tuesday morning, to show that we had some violence up front. I thought both he and Colin had a particular play where they were tossing guys around, but the best word to describe Derek has been solid performance.
So how do you slow down Aaron Rodgers?
I don't know what we talked about the other day was because of the respect we have for him. To me, I think the most important thing is the other 10, if that makes sense. I think it's important to win your one-on-ones, you know, up front. Make sure that the guys on the back end win their one-on-ones and try to make it tough for number 12 because, look, he gets the last say on every play, and he's really good at it. You know, he can change it. He knows how to get in and out of a good play, or a bad play, I should say. And that's what makes it challenging when you go against a quarterback like that.
Steve, have you guys been grooming, I don't know, I think you may have mentioned this in training camp, the idea that Rashad would be inside more than outside. Have you guys been grooming him for such an opportunity?
Well, he's been playing that nickel spot all since he's got here, and he has actually concentrated on that more so than outside. He's done a little bit of both, but there was a time there when our corner situation was down to whatever the numbers were, and so he had to play both. But with Kendall's injury, it felt like a good time to slide him in there and get him going, and he made a play or two in the game, so got to keep oiling him up. We talk all the time. We talked way back in training camp to make sure we get the twos, you know, quote unquote, twos or backups, however you want to put that, get them ready. That's what our coaches did a great job of. I mean, you don't see this because I know you're off the practice field by then, but when practice ends typically on Wednesdays and Thursdays, the coaches are working with the guys that haven't gotten the reps in practice. And I think it's helped pay off a little bit, you know.
You worried about Frank not being available for Sunday?
We'll see. I mean, Rick's working with him. I'll let that kind of take its course. But look, we want all our guys available. So we'll see.
I know you're very forward-thinking, but really outstanding job with the run game, last game with 71 yards from 2 talented backs.
Yeah.
What do you think was the difference? What worked so well on Thursday night as you look towards
You know, I mean, it was a different running scheme than we had seen the prior 2 weeks. That, and I just thought the edge our guys had, I thought we had a little bit of an edge. I mean, guys have got a lot of pride and weren't too happy about the previous 2 games. The edge and the attitude I thought was right, and it had a little early success and it continued on through. Would have really liked it if on that first 3rd down play we didn't get a face mask. We might have been off the field and saved ourselves some legs, but sometimes that happens. But it was encouraging. We're not going to rest on our laurels of 1 game. You know, we got a long way to go, and this is a different running attack, a different challenge with a quarterback that had some problems. So we got to do the same thing again.
How much do you know about your new defensive tackle?
How much do we know?
Yeah.
Like 1 practice. I like him. I mean, when he was here for the meetings and Brendan and I sat down with him, I mean, I like his intelligence. It's hard to tell a lot right now. He got a few reps yesterday, but we got to get him up to speed, just like we did with Terrell a couple weeks back.
Coach, how sustainable is that edge and attitude regardless of the opponent?
Yeah, that's a good question. I'm hoping it sustains a long way. The only comment I made to our guys was our hope is this, is that when this thing is all done, that's not the best game we've played. That would be the hope. And hopefully the guys will embrace that and rally around it.
Coach, when you look at some of the numbers, Aaron Rodgers only been sacked 12 times, but yet he holds on to the ball among the longest in the league.
Yeah.
Is that because of Bulaga and Bakhtiari, or what is it about?
Well, I think it's all of that, but I do think it's mainly because of him. I mean, he's got eyes all over his head, and he's still athletic. Been doing it for a long time. He extends the down. That's you're right. From snap to when the ball's thrown is as long as anybody in the league. But I think he's always looking to make a really big play, which he does a lot. Chucks the ball downfield, and between the two tackles, him, the whole offensive line, and his athletic ability, I think that's what causes that.
You were talking about substitutions, and the last few weeks you've been mentioning your third down package and really wanting to get that out there. What did you see from that group on Thursday? It looked like they played pretty well.
Yeah, we mixed it in a little bit. I know we had there's 2 or 3 packages I can remember in my head. But again, it comes back to, the coach has done a great job getting guys in the right spots in the right situations. The thing that was encouraging in this last game was that we actually got in enough third downs. The prior 2 games, there was a lot of first and second downs, and and that's the result of not playing good run defense. And when you play good run defense, you can put yourself in those situations and get some packages out on the field. So we're looking to try to do the same thing.
Couple more, guys.
Charvarius has become one of your more reliable cornerbacks. How have you seen him develop?
Yeah.
It kind of still almost as his rookie season.
Yeah, no, you bring up a good point. Because there were times, whether it was training camp or where there was a little struggle, I remember there were a lot of questions in here asked about C-Dub. But I think he's become a consistent player right now. Now, the thing about this league is we're only in the game 8, so we got a long stretch here that has to continue.
With Rashad, you mentioned a couple plays kind of stood out to you. Do you remember the details?
Well, the one play he made at the end where he had a PBU and knocked the ball down, he had a couple mental errors in there too. I gotta make sure we don't, I can't give him too much credit. But no, he got put out there in a Thursday night game. It was really his first, defensive snaps, and the guys around him were great. Honey Badger was terrific with him all week long. And that's what the guys did. They kind of rallied around. That's what you got to do when you get injured, right? Next guy up, rally around him.
Last one, Nate.
Steve, so much of playing Aaron Rodgers is the idea of you have to make choices that most defensive coordinators don't want to make. But you have to blitz, which obviously gives them an advantage because how you can get one play now to another. And then obviously the Detroit Lions were a team that sort of played back and hoped that their coverage held up for the 5 or 6 seconds that is necessary. Just can you explain sort of the difficulties of trying to keep him off balance with the understanding that he's going to force you to make difficult decisions in Sunday's game?
You're exactly right in what you're saying. It creates issues because of who he is and what he does, and you do have to make that decision. I mean, I always go back to you're going to have to mix it up. He's actually, when Mike Frazier gives us these stats and whatnot, he's actually better against the blitz than he is when you don't. I'll go back to, I think it's going to come down to what we do to the other 10. And the one-on-ones. We really can't get stuck staring at him. He's one of the best that's played that position. I mean, he's a future Hall of Famer. We all know that. And he presents the exact problem you're talking about. We'll try anything and everything because we want to try to win the football game. But if we'll try to settle in on what we think's working at the time.
Okay, thanks, Coach.